Coming up, Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteers conduct a flood disaster survey in Bago Province. We see how Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital helps leukemia patients with a second chance at life. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. As it is currently monsoon season in Myanmar, recent heavy downpours have sparked floods in Bago Province. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to the flood-stricken province to conduct a disaster assessment. Upon learning that many residents have fled to temporary shelters, the volunteers made it a point to visit the shelters to better understand the victims' needs and concerns.
Traveling on a rowboat in bare feet, Tzu Chi volunteers are ready to enter the flood-stricken Bago Province.
Right now, local residents can only travel by boat.
Every year from June to October is monsoon season in Myanmar. Last month, due to extensive rainfall, the northern Yangon province was severely flooded. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the disaster area with aid. This time, in response to the Bago flood, volunteers once again mobilized to conduct a disaster assessment.
Many houses are flooded, so residents have fled their homes because they don't know when the water will recede.
During their visit, volunteers came across many residents who insisted on staying behind regardless of the flood.
Last year, the floodwaters came up to here. A few days ago, the water level was this high. I haven't had a decent night's sleep or meal since the disaster.
A lot of houses are uninhabitable right now. Many residents are currently at the temporary shelters where they receive food.
At a temporary shelter, flood survivors wait anxiously for hot meals. For many children, a piece of cookie and a ear of corn make a meal. Upon seeing the volunteers, many poured out their concerns and frustrations.
We can't hang our mosquito nets here, so we always get bitten at night. We can only sleep on the floor, and it is very cold at night. I always wake up with a headache.
Listening closely and documenting the needs of flood survivors, Tzu Chi volunteers promise to return once again in the near future to help them get through this difficult time.
In Taiwan's Jiayi County, a charity sale was held at the Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital to help those affected by the underground gas explosions in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. To show their support, many medical staff used their break time to help. Meanwhile, in Kaohsiung, inspired by the volunteers' selfless dedication following the tragedy, RT Mart donated boxes of plastic shoe covers to make sure the volunteers stayed safe and dry while conducting home visitations.
Visiting those affected by the recent blast in Kaohsiung City, regardless of the downpour outside, Tzu Chi volunteers are here to deliver bags of relief goods. Worrying that the volunteers would get wet while conducting home visitations, RT Mart decided to donate plastic shoe covers on their behalf. These boxes of love from RT Mart are packed with 1,000 pairs of plastic shoe covers in various sizes.
With love and care, we can overcome any disaster. So on behalf of RT Mart, we are donating these to Tzu Chi.
Prior to the home visitations, volunteers happily put on the plastic shoe covers. With this extra layer of protection, they now can carry out their duties free from worries.
We will hand out the plastic shoe covers to the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters who didn't bring their shoe covers with them. These shoe covers will protect their feet from getting wet. We won't get so wet anymore because we now have raincoats and shoe covers.
As home visitations are carried out during the rain, volunteers thoughtfully draw a map on a piece of cardboard to make sure the route to each blast survivor's home is cleared. By visiting residents door to door, Tzu Chi volunteers hope their love and care can help put residents' minds at ease. Meanwhile, at the Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital, even this early in the morning, volunteers are already working inside the kitchen, cooking noodles that will be sold later at a charity bazaar.
We were extremely sad when we saw the living conditions of the blast survivors.
All of us are very happy to have the chance to contribute our share to the charity sale.
To show their support, 3 days prior to the event, medical staff at the hospital took the opportunity to help the volunteers prepare cooking ingredients.
We bought 50 kilograms of lemons. We used our spare time to juice the lemons. Although it was tiring, all of us are full of joy.
Knowing that the money received from the charity bazaar would go towards helping those affected by the explosions, many patients and family members happily contribute their love.
I think it is a wonderful thing they are doing, and this drink prepared by the staff is really delicious.
At the end of the day, doctors and nurses donate their food bamboo coin banks, hoping to inspire those around them to also contribute their love.
After the extensive gas explosions just 2 weeks earlier, Kaohsiung now faces the threat of torrential rains, which have already inundated the disaster area. To let the blast victims know that they are not suffering alone, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to visit each affected household one by one to console troubled hearts.
Though it is raining in Kaohsiung, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to comfort the victims of the recent gas explosions. Visiting each affected household to deliver blessings, the group is made of volunteers from all over Taiwan. Wang Hui from Tainan continues to invite her fellow volunteers to take part.
The master cares about all the people caught in the disaster and hopes that all Tzu Chi volunteers can come support the victims.
Though I have 2 shops to run, I have set aside my business so I may be able to join the second tour. Fortunately, my wish came true, for which I am very grateful.
This is a great opportunity for us to learn to cherish our blessings, so volunteers in Tainan have mobilized to take action. 102 members from Tainan joined the second tour.
This young boy is touched by the visit of so many uncles and aunties, who even taught him to read and understand Master Zeng Yan's letter of blessings.
The letter of blessing said, "When others are hurt, I ache for them. When others are suffering, I grieve for them." I'm truly touched and inspired by this profound verse. When I grow up, I want to be like Tzu Chi volunteers and help those in need.
I went to my boss and asked him for some time off. I have also asked other brothers and sisters to seize this opportunity to give.
Setting their work and personal affairs aside, the volunteers roam through the disaster areas, just so the victims know that they are not alone.
Former TV star and Tzu Chi volunteer Chen淑丽is among those who are visiting those affected by the Kaohsiung gas explosions. Fluent in Taiwanese, Chen uses her language skills to bring warmth and comfort to the blast survivors. During the home visitations, local residents were pleasantly surprised to see a famous celebrity calling at their door, a fact that certainly helped open some closed hearts. Warmly greeting all those she comes across, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen淑丽has joined in to console those affected by the underground gas blasts in Kaohsiung, Taiwan.
We're all family. You're my family too. My master says we need to help her visit everyone. Seeing you safe and sound makes us happy. One is we don't want Kaohsiung residents to suffer alone. Another is I want to help in any way I can. Seeing the other Tzu Chi volunteers working so hard, I wanted to come help relieve some of their burdens.
Former celebrity and model Chen淑丽, in the prime of her life, chose to step away from the limelight and instead dedicate her life to charity.
Every time, even before I have participated in a Tzu Chi event, I'm already moved. I'm simply touched by how dutiful the other volunteers are in carrying out our master's tasks. I met Tzu Chi through reading Jingsi aphorisms. I've been in Tzu Chi since 1989. Jingsi aphorisms can help settle and purify our hearts.
Without the glamour of the lights and camera, Chen is just like an older sister asking after everyone's well-being here in Kaohsiung. Even when a fan asks for an autograph, she's able to incorporate her favorite Jin's aphorisms into it.
If we know that we are blessed and cherish this good fortune, then we can create more blessings and continue the cycle of blessings.
I want to donate this to help the Kaohsiung disaster relief. It's just a bit of my love.
Leaving the catwalk behind and changing into her volunteer uniform, Chen Shuli's life is more simple, yet more fulfilling than ever. In today's look at 5 years after Typhoon Morakot, we go to Taitung, Taiwan. The Taimali River became a raging torrent during the storm and obliterated everything in its path, including buildings, farms, and bridges. Many of the disaster areas became completely isolated and were only reachable via choppers. However, as soon as the storm was over, the staff of Myanmar Tzu Chi Hospital immediately began making house calls and conducting free clinics, just as they had always done and will always do.
On August 8, 2009, Typhoon Morakot brought devastation to Taitung. The Taimali River quickly overflowed, destroying bridges, buildings, and farmland.
It was pure devastation. Many houses weren't just knocked over by floodwaters, but washed away instead. Many sugar apple orchards were totally wiped out, leaving farmers with absolutely nothing.
After the disaster, the neighboring Myanmar Tzu Chi Hospital immediately sprang into action to hold free clinics in disaster areas.
It was very hard for us to conduct our free clinics. Many roads were damaged, making traveling difficult. Some areas were only reachable via a helicopter. People were without food and medicine.
The hospital has long been watching over the health of local residents. Till this day, Eastern Taiwan Timor still holds free clinics here regularly. This is the first indigenous Taiwan Tzu Chi commissioner in Taitung. Donning the blue and white uniform, she comforts each troubled heart with love.
Before, this area was full of buildings. I believe the township health clinic was here and a Catholic church was here, but in the end, they were all washed away. It was fate. There was nothing we could do. It was God's punishment for us. We don't know whether people are good or bad. That's not our decision to make, but we can cultivate more compassion.
Having survived the 88 floods, the volunteers not only cherished their blessings, but are now even more committed to conservation.
If we don't come here to recycle, I won't be able to sleep at night. I will feel as if I am slacking off, so the next day, I will come back and make sure I double my efforts.
Besides the environmental mission, volunteers continue to carry out home visitations and host free clinics in Taitung, treating everyone just like family.
The Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital was established to deliver quality medical care to Yunlin and Jiayi counties, which once lacked medical resources. Located in a prime area, the hospital is easily accessible for both Taiwan's central and southern districts. Lately, it has also become a hospital known for collecting peripheral blood stem cells to help cure those suffering from blood disorders. It is also the only medical facility on the west coast of Taiwan that collects PBSCs from non-family members. Tzu Chi volunteer and former donor Jiang Boren patiently explains how peripheral blood stem cell donation works to a new donor.
Most of the peripheral blood stem cells collected in Taiwan are done at Dalin because we are located near a freeway on the west coast of Taiwan. We are easily accessible for other hospitals to get to, especially those in central and southern Taiwan. There is plenty of time for medical staff to come pick up the donation without worrying about flight times.
Blood disorders like leukemia are diagnosed when a patient's hematopoietic stem cells or blood-forming stem cells are not functioning as they should. These blood-forming stem cells are found in the bone marrow and umbilical cord. However, some cells, called peripheral blood stem cells, are found in the bloodstream. To obtain PBSCs, blood is removed from a donor and goes through a machine that filters and collects the stem cells before the blood is returned to the donor, very similar to a dialysis treatment. Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital is the only hospital in Western Taiwan that accepts such a donation from donors who are not related to the patient.
It was a typhoon day and public transportations to Hualien were cancelled. The donor who was originally going to Hualien to donate came to Dalin instead, and everything, including the evaluation, was done in one day. We were able to successfully send the blood to the patient in need.
Before undergoing a peripheral blood stem cell transplant, patients will be treated with chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Thus, if they are unable to undergo the following transplant in time, their life will be in danger. Since every second counts, it is no surprise that Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital, which is located in an easily accessible area, has, since 2004, successfully collected over 800 PBSCs for patients, giving them a new lease on life. Next up in Taichung, Taiwan, we meet restaurant owner Wang Yingting, who since becoming a Buddhist 5 years ago decided to only serve vegetarian food. However, even after 5 years, business has been slow and unprofitable. What keeps Wang motivated against all odds? Let's find out in our next report.
Wang Yingting follows the same routine each day. Her first stop of the day is always the traditional market.
老板娘，我要5斤的铁板面跟5斤面疙瘩。好，150、250。好，谢谢。通常会买一些。
I usually pick the vegetables with some insect damage because it means they have less pesticide residue.
农药比较多。
Carefully picking out what she needs, Wang hopes to select only the finest and healthiest of ingredients.
好，会觉得很可怜啊。
I feel sorry for the animals when I see fish just lying there alive. I feel sorry for them. I'm also very afraid of seeing raw meat now because there's a strong odor to it.
Going from a lover of meat to a fully committed vegetarian, the turning point came 5 years ago when Wang began her study of Buddhism. In line with the Buddhist precepts of no killing, Wang decided to only serve vegetarian food. However, all things are difficult before they are easy, and starting a vegetarian restaurant was not as simple as it seemed.
When we first decided to give up serving meat and serve vegetarian food instead, I felt very conflicted.
There was some pressure. We wanted our customers to enjoy delicious vegetarian food, but we felt conflicted.
Using high-quality ingredients, even after 5 years, Wang's restaurant is still running at a loss. However, her reason for not giving up is simple.
We hope to attract more people to come and experience vegetarian food that is delicious and healthy.
Both Wang and her mother have themselves realized the benefits of vegetarianism.
Since I started practicing Buddhism, I have found peace in body and mind. Since taking on a vegetarian diet, I feel I have a healthier body. I hope everyone can come and experience this joy for themselves. Another sutra performance recently drew to a close. This time, those involved were a group of children from Renmei Kindergarten. The children adopted a vegetarian diet, practiced sign language, and watched Master Zhen Yan's Wisdom at Dawn during their 3-week stay at the school. All in all, learning what it means to be a good and truthful person in the process.
感谢亲爱的老师，教导我无穷尽之事。
Preschoolers of Taipei's Renmei Kindergarten sing shyly but skillfully. Although the oldest is only 3 years old, as a group, they give a spot on performance. At the school's graduation ceremony, the students show off the efforts they have invested in this year's Sutra of Innumerable Meanings musical performance. For the official presentation in August, the children had no problem observing a vegetarian diet for they know the importance of protecting life.
小动物很可怜。
It's bad for animals. It hurts to get killed, so we need to protect animals.
所以要保护小动物，不会让
Eating meat will hurt animals.
For 3 weeks before the official presentation, the children live at a school to better immerse themselves in the sutra's teachings. They begin each day by watching Master Zheng Yan's sermon.
你说我们都是有一些恶习啊，
We all have some bad habits. By watching wisdom at dawn, we can change ourselves.
习惯能够改掉。
They woke up every day at 5 to watch Wisdom at Dawn, and then strove to put those teachings into practice throughout the day.
心法相很好。
It is good to watch Master Zheng Yan's broadcast. It makes me more tolerant of other people, and I can sympathize with others.
比我们大人
The children are better at this than us. They can wake up easily. Even the youngest, Wei Ling, who is only 3 years old, wakes up easily when being called.
Through the Master's Zheng Yan's teachings, the children have learned to help out each other, as well as save money for charity. It seems obvious that many seeds of goodness have already been planted in these young hearts.
Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited local communities to share Buddhist stories with the goal of straightening out the superstition associated with the lunar July, and many locals said that they are willing to change.
A huge crowd gathered at Dongshan Temple in Xiamen, China, to watch a Taiwanese opera which tells people that there is no need to be afraid of the lunar July and that they should not burn just paper.
Let's stop burning just paper and use this money to help others instead, okay?
After watching the show, even old people say they are willing to change.
Since others burn a lot, we can burn less.
We can save the money and donate them. We will come help out when we can.
Xiamen Tzu Chi volunteers are advocating the idea that Lunar July is in fact a month of blessing. The local village chiefs believe so too.
7th lunar month is really an auspicious month. It is also a time to show devotion to their parents.
I just went home and told the village's secretary about it, and he immediately said yes, as it is a good thing to do.
Children who came also learn to protect the earth.
Protect the environment, protect the earth. Pick up PET bottles.
Locals are quick to learn recycle terms. The summer breeze helps chase away the heat and refreshes everyone's mind and spirit.
In Malaysia, a summer camp to strengthen the bonds of parents and their teenage children was recently held at Kuala Lumpur. Through the camp, the children learned how to open the line of communications to their parents. And at the end, both parents and children were grateful to have had participated. We will leave you with these images at the end of the show. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.